All right, hey everyone, it's March 27th. I came across this video on firstamendmentradio.net, and the synchronicity / coincidence factor is just too high not to document it and share with you guys. Alfred Adask was on 60 Minutes several years ago, and they did a hit piece on sovereign citizens. They make all sovereign citizens out to be violent murderers and a big danger to law enforcement officials. And I came across this video today. Firstamendmentradio.net is the YouTube channel name, and it has Alfred Adask, right? Alfred Adask is a friend of mine. My wife speaks to Alfred anytime she can find him on the internet. I don't think he has a phone, so I don't speak often with him, but we used to go to the same Bible study together, and I've got a lot of respect for Alfred. I think he's just a very intelligent guy when it comes to the founding principles of this country, and I've listened to him speak, and I've always thought very highly of Alfred Adask, and we've gone and broken bread several times. But listen to this video that they did on Alfred Adask at 60 Minutes, trying to make sovereign citizens look like violent extremists, dangerous to law enforcement, when actually the opposite is true.
On federal mail fraud charges. But when Vosper learned one of them had contacts with associates of Jerry Kane at the West Memphis shooting, he increased security at the courthouse and took some personal measures.
I've been a justice for 20 years. I worked 30 years in the penitentiary system. I'm scared.
But you're a guy from Queens. You don't scare easy, right?
No. 30 years in the penitentiary, I never felt I had to carry a weapon. I've been carrying a weapon for a year and a half.
Because of your encounter with this sovereign citizen?
Yeah. I slept with a gun under my mattress for the last year and a half.
Another reason for Vosper's concern is the marked increase in violence associated with sovereign citizens, much of it directed at police and judges. A South Carolina sovereign citizen awaits execution for killing 2 lawmen in a standoff. In Texas, a sovereign faces attempted capital murder charges in the shooting of 3 men, 2 of them sheriff's deputies.
Okay, this is what I wanted you to see. See, I'm friends with Alfred Adask. I knew he got on this 60 Minutes, and they did a hit piece on him and sovereign citizens. What I didn't know until I watched it again today is that they use Schaeffer Cox as an example of some sort of violent extreme terrorist. And firstamendmentradio.net, I don't know who they are, but they got this commentary they're putting on the screen as Schaeffer walks in the courtroom, and they say, well, they deserve to lose their status. I don't even think they looked into the Schaeffer Cox case. Absolutely horrific that First Amendment Radio would say this over Schaeffer Cox's face, that he's deserving to lose his status as a sovereign, when he hasn't done anything wrong, and he was set up with entrapment by the same government, the same law enforcement officials they're acting so concerned about. When they're trying to portray sovereigns as a violent extremist, it's absolutely the opposite. But let's listen to the rest of the video, because I think they make some important points.
And an Alaska sovereign citizen, 5 others, are charged with plotting to kill 2 judges, state troopers, and an IRS agent. Alfred Adask told us he's never advocated violence, yet listen to what he said on his internet radio show.
We do not have the right to keep and bear arms so we can go duck hunting. We have the right to keep and bear arms in order to shoot our own politicians. We have the right.
You said we have the right to keep and bear arms in order to shoot our own politicians. We have the right to keep and bear arms to shoot the police, to shoot your local government officials, your state officials, your president, your congressmen, your senators.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
I'm simply saying one of the ways you prevent the misconstruction or abuse of the powers of the Constitution is by letting the people in Washington understand that you are armed. That's the idea behind this. It's saying, look, we're armed down here. Don't mess with us.
In this current atmosphere, after the shooting in Arizona, where a federal judge was killed, 5 other people were killed.
Right.
A U.S. congressman was injured. 12 other people were shot and injured. Some people might find your remarks troubling.
Yeah, some people might. You know, I find it troubling that the government would try to restrict our right to keep and bear arms. The threat of violence is required because they will not listen. The system will not listen to people like me unless there are other people that back me up who have guns.
Obviously, the guy's crazy, and I think he ought to be brought up on charges. I know that we have a First Amendment right, freedom of speech, but how far can you take that First Amendment before it becomes inflammatory and to the point of being treasonous.
It's difficult to stand up here and talk about your son being killed.
In the years since the shooting, Bob Paudert has been traveling the country, training law enforcement officers on how to identify a sovereign citizen and how to avoid trouble.
Okay, let's think about that. They've got a guy whose son was killed, and he's training law enforcement officials on how to deal with a particular group of people. Well, if that's how they're going to operate, and that's the person they choose to train law enforcement officials, then what kind of person should the opposing group get to train our side? This whole thing is absolutely backwards 180 degrees. Absolutely insanity.
If they encounter one.
It's a mission for me. Who better to deliver the message than someone that has lost so much?
Sovereign citizens have a history of going after law enforcement who give them a hard time.
Oh, I hope they do. If they want to come after me, I am very easy to find. The police chief in West Memphis, Arkansas, 7 miles west of Memphis. If they want to come after me, I have absolutely no problem with it and might even like it.
That's great. You might even like it. Hey, that's the kind of man you're gonna put in charge of training your law enforcement officials. You might even like it. And then you got this Sergeant Folsom who tried to murder Jeffrey Winehouse. You don't think this thing is ratcheting up? Hey, that's fine. Hey, there's a lot of us. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna stop right there and let you guys make your own discernment. You can use your own discernment about what's going on in this country.